What is up, Theta homies? It is your boy, Justin Passetti, back again with another Theta Token video, another Theta Token update. Just a friendly reminder, if you're new to the channel, trying to find as much Theta news, updates, NFTs, or any kind of Theta partnerships, definitely please hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely check out all the links down below in the description for all the links I post in this video, along with my Imagine Replay referral link if you are trying to earn as much TNT20 token, especially on that Theta blockchain. So diving into today's video, we do have a lot of information I want to present to you guys in terms of validator nodes, updates all together with what is going on with the Theta ecosystem, as well as a little bit nitpicky, or I guess criticism for me personally as a collector for one of the Theta affiliated NFT projects that hasn't necessarily, in my own opinion, has not fulfilled to the promises of their roadmap. I guess this is definitely not necessarily complaining, but definitely want to reach out as to see why these type of roadmaps are not being necessarily fulfilled. I know it's a roadmap, not everything's going to be promised essentially, but it's just something, there's no really high news in terms of why certain projects or bullet points have not been reached yet. So that is the reason why I want to bring it to attention. So definitely follow along with the rest of this video. So we'll definitely get into it. So we'll start off with the Theta Explorer page and we'll see the current price of Theta. So on the making of this video, as you can tell, the current price of Theta is at that 81 cent mark, almost at that 82 cent mark, as well as T-Fuel at that 3 cent mark, riding that almost to the 4 cent mark. And then you do have all the dApps on the Theta main chain that I mentioned before. So like I said, guys, definitely check out all the links down below in the description. So going on to Twitter like we normally do, we're going to see here a little more of a tweet, seeing that look at the number 3 YouTube channel on the top gainers list, Set India, 149 million subs, is at the random Set Ventures India drop on Theta drop, making more sense now. That is a sleuthing job only Jamaicans can handle in terms of this actual NFT type of related tweet. We're going to see Set India has tweeted here down here below. You do see that they are number 3 in the top gainers list. And if you don't recall, I believe the NFT they are associating with is on Theta drop altogether. So we're going to hop on there right now. Seen here in the marketplace, I believe this is the one they were referring to, seeing that the Movable Feast was released earlier, or I guess you can say later in 2022, since it's earlier, I guess you can say, but it's 2023 now, so we got to get our years right. So as you can tell right here, we do have the Movable Feast pack. All these other NFTs are within this pack based to my knowledge, so we'll definitely look at the pack itself. It is going for the lowest ask is $190 USD, and there's 13 available. I don't necessarily recall as to how much it was going originally when it first drop. I want to say it was $50 or $100, but I could be wrong just because it's been a while and I don't recall the current price. That is just an assumption because based on the previous type of drops associated with Theta drop, usually those the type of marketing is currently priced at. If you want to go into a little bit more details as to the Movable Feast pack, here it is right here. I'll take a quick pause. So if you want to read through this, I definitely do not want to go into much detail because this was a previous drop. I just want to show you guys the relation as to how many gainers there were on YouTube in comparison to the relationship to the Theta drop, actual drop itself. So hopefully this will increase the value for these NFTs as well continue to grow the Theta ecosystem, community, and marketplace, as you can tell right here. Scrolling down just a little bit more, I'll try to go a little slower scrolling because you'll be able to see which NFTs are released on this actual feast pack, I would like to say. So over here you can see the different type of NFTs altogether, and then we'll also definitely scroll back to the previous page so we can see which one is priced more versus others, if there are more than others. So that will determine the rarity for that NFT altogether, because it's usually depending on scarcity. In terms of the utility though, that's a different type of question. I don't necessarily know if there is one in my own opinion. If you guys have your own thoughts and comments down below about that type of utility for this NFT drop, definitely comment it down below, because we're all here to help out the Theta community. Present as much information is my job, especially when it comes to this YouTube channel. So we'll definitely stay tuned for more of that later. But like I said, we're definitely going to go back to the previous page. So we're going to see here what the current prices of each NFT from that pack altogether. So like I said, I'll definitely scroll down just a little bit, maybe a little bit faster, just to save some time for you guys so while you're watching this video. So as you can tell, there's some that are about 30 quantity, some of them have 10. So of course the one that has 10 are selling at a higher price because there's less of them. That's just how it works. It's kind of like when it comes to reselling any type of product or anything like that. The less of quantity, of course the price will go up based on the seller, but altogether you'll be able to see these NFTs and how they're currently priced. And I'll take a quick pause right here because I believe I showed enough so you guys can get the idea of the artwork, the process behind this project, I guess, and then the actual connection between YouTube and Theta drop, and hopefully having that growth, that potential growth for the community altogether. I also do want to mention something else. Going back on Twitter, we're going to see that Jamaicos tweeted, breaking, the 27th validator node for Theta Network. Who is going to be the new validator of Theta? New Hollywood studio or another artificial intelligence company? If you scroll down just a tad bit, this was posted on December 31st, 2022, so fairly recent in terms of the making of this video altogether. I try to find as much relevant news within a couple weeks or within a month at least, because that's how you know these news type of information is relevant, I like to say. But definitely bear with me. If you scroll down a little bit more with me here, you're going to see that Fuel Foundry IO is the new validator of Theta Network. Kudos to Theta Ecosystem who informed us immediately. Find more info about them here on their link. So we're actually going to do that them ourselves. So if you go onto their Twitter page, you do see it here. Here's that little bio saying, lend me your Theta so that I may forge the mightiest T-Fuel. Here is that information in their bio right here. And we're definitely going onto their own website. When we go to the website, we're going to go to the About Fuel Foundry because we have to know who this new validator is. Crypto and Web3 are complicated matters. Fuel Foundry bridges the gap. Founded by the passionate engineers and enthusiasts from the US and Netherlands, Fuel Foundry provides middleware to artists and technologists, bridging the gap by simplifying Web3 deployment. So essentially, it's sounding like simplifying and doing the heavy workload for those who are not too familiar with the Web3 space based on this information right here. Scrolling down just a little bit more, their goal is security. Crypto is the shortcomings. It's one of the reasons of starting Fuel Foundry, to provide a much needed layer of security, delivering peace of mind to stakeholders, especially when it comes to a lot of staking, proof of stake, especially with Theta Network, because that's what they're based off of. Everything in-house, globally deployed, geographically load balanced infrastructure. Each forge is built, maintained, and secured in-house, making things easier. Lastly, we're here to make things easier for the end user. Crypto can be complicated for newcomers and professionals alike. We bridge that knowledge gap with our service and support. And if you want to learn more, here's their contact information. I know it's kind of like not too much information altogether based on their their Twitter, as well as the contact information on their own homepage. So definitely contact more if you want to know more about them. They did attend ThetaCon of 2022, so they were there at the booth explaining as much possible questions and answers, or providing answers I should say, to community for those trying to understand as to what their purpose was at the event. So it's more like protecting the blockchain altogether is what I was able to gather from Slick, who was part of ThetaCon 2022, who is also part of Fuel Foundry. So he'll definitely probably present more news as more Theta information is presented in the near future, as well when it comes to staking and that type of protection. So we'll definitely keep it there in terms of the Fuel Foundry, and definitely check out all the links down below in the description, guys, so it makes it easier for you guys to go back later on to find your own information and make those smart decisions for yourselves based on the information I try to provide for you guys, especially associated with Theta Network. And if you don't mind also hitting that like and subscribe button, that also does help out the channel. Going on to a little bit more onto the NFT project that I would like to critique in terms of the roadmap. We're going to see here a little bit more the World Poker Tour. I do appreciate them having that utilization in terms of the season passes, and it's been nice to watch every so often because it's nice to watching the game. I don't necessarily say I play poker that often. I know the general rules of the game and I'll play every so often with some friends, but when you go onto the roadmap altogether, or actually starting off with the actual season pass, here you can tell that here's the type of videos. If you do own a World Poker Tour, I believe it's not necessarily a specific NFT based to my knowledge. If you own a certain collection, and that allows you to have the access to this type of streaming services, which may adapt onto the API, the Theta video API streaming services down the road, is a little more of a speculation on my part, but we'll definitely go on to the roadmap. Just seeing here in Q3 and Q4 of 2022, did not necessarily, at least I may have not even heard about the news for these utilization for these NFTs. As you can tell here, you can take a quick pause and look at the information. So if you are a part of this community altogether, the World Poker Tour NFT community, you can see that right here. And then it's just kind of been a little, you would like to say a little quiet, especially on Theta Drop. So fingers crossed, it's just because the whole market altogether is just like a little bit on fire based on that FTX event that occurred earlier of 2022 or later of 2022, depending on how you see it, because we're in 2023 now. But regardless, guys, just one of the things I want to critique in terms of the roadmap. I know that roadmap is a general outline of how things may portray for the future, but it just kind of a little unfortunate unfortunate that there may not be as much announcements as I would like for the project. So that is what I'm guess more gearing towards, just some sort of update and seeing where things are, as long as some community members are getting answers, because they were not cheap for these NFTs. And I know that a lot of people who are a part of it altogether, I do own a couple of the NFTs altogether, so just something to question about. Everyone has their own questions altogether, and it's just nice having some of them answered. Of course, you can always go through it directly, but I'm sure a lot of community members are also having these type of questions. But altogether, that is all I really have for today's video, guys. Going back to the homepage, thank you again for coming back to the channel. If you're an OG viewer and subscriber, thank you guys so much. If you're a new viewer and subscriber, definitely please hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it, and definitely comment down below and check out all the links down below in the description for all the links I post in this video, along with my Imagine Replay referral link if you're trying to earn as much TNT 20 token on the Theta blockchain. Thank you guys again. If you're trying to learn as much Theta news, updates, NFTs, or any kind of Theta partnerships, this is the channel for it. I try to provide as much as I can. Really looking forward to seeing you on the next one. But until then, it's your boy Justin Passetti. So try to keep up. Hi, deuces.